Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted 3 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is chapter 4, also known as Run to Ground. Almost lost the title there for a second. But in a previous chapter, Nate and Sully got shot down, and it turns out that that was all fake because Cutter is on their side. So now we're off through the streets and we're gonna chase Marlowe and Talbot, the people we were doing a deal with, to get back what they stole from us. And this chapter is quite slow in the beginning. You are gonna do some platforming. We're gonna introduce to the fact that Cutter is apparently claustrophobic. He does not like tight spaces at all, which will put us in a sticky situation later in the game. But before we get there, we need to get through this chapter. And after all the platforming we do here at the beginning, once again establishing all the characters, Chloe makes a little appearance in this game as well. Always good to see her.
Didn't I tell you?
But after that, we are going to be introduced, as I said, to the combat of this game. And I really like the weapon sound in Uncharted 3. I think it has the best weapon sound in the entire series. Because first time I played this, I played through the first 3 games in succession, actually. I bought all 3 of them. I played them all, one after the other. And I have my PS3 because that's what I first played it on. I have it hooked up to my surround system. And the first time I fired a gun in this game, I actually had to pause the game and lower the volume because the first guns you get are silenced. So it doesn't really prove my point. But when you switch to other weapons that don't have a suppressor on them, the gun sound is very loud and very aggressive compared to the other games, because all the games have that typical video game weapon sound where everything sounds a bit wussy, for lack of a better word. It doesn't have that weight. Some games do, like the Battlefield games and all that try to go for realism, which is always nice. I haven't played a Battlefield game in years, actually. I think the latest Battlefield game I played was Bad Company 2 back when I bought my PS3, so that was years and years ago. But compared to all the other games in this series, and a lot of games overall, as I said, the guns in this game they sound really aggressive, and there is a great weight to the sound of it, a great realism. So I really like it in this game, and I was a bit disappointed when I started playing Uncharted 4 when it came out. Was it last year or 2 years ago? Can't remember, because I thought that they would go on that path and stay with that sound, but no, they changed it a little bit. And I'm actually gonna start recording my Uncharted 4 walkthrough soon, because I said back in my first walkthrough that I would cover the entire Uncharted series, and that is something I will do. And I will also cover other games. I was gonna cover Wolfenstein 2, I mentioned that in a video.
Hey, check this out.
Sorry to say that will probably not happen, because I bought the game, I played through it first on what's it called, normal difficult, Bring 'em On, and I think it was a good game. It wasn't as good as the New Order, I think, but also it is hard. It's not too hard, I'm not gonna say that. I can beat it, but I had a lot of stuff to do. This sounds like I'm making excuses, but the point I want to get to is that I didn't have time to invest as much time as I would need to make good strategies to get through I Am Death Incarnate, I think it's called, the highest difficulty. to get that walkthrough out as fast as I wanted to. So I decided to scrap that project. Sorry, I said in a video that I would cover it. I will not be doing that. Because I didn't have the time to get through the game and make as good strategies as I wanted to and get the walkthrough out fast. So I skipped it, but I will cover other games in the future. I will try to make time when a game comes out that I want to cover, so I can put it up as fast as possible. But getting back to Uncharted. Now we are in combat, our first sign of real combat. And this area can be a little bit tricky, because I think the enemies' damage output is a bit higher in this game than in Uncharted 2. I am not 100% sure, but when I played this, it felt as if when you died, it happened faster than in the second game. So you need to be a bit more cautious in this. If it is so, I think it is. As I said, I'm not 100% sure, but it felt like it when I played it. But here is some more platform. We're gonna go down into this old drum of some kind. I don't know the word in English for it, but you're gonna climb down these pipes. We're gonna slide down here, and I think we'll go into another action sequence right after this, where I completely mess up. Yes, here it is. My plan here was to go up to that wall and take cover behind it and shoot them in the head as soon as their backs were turned towards me. That for some reason did not happen. The game decided to troll me. It went for a roll into the room, and I just decided to commit to it. But we get a nice close-up of a nut shot, which isn't very pleasant to watch if you're a guy, because any guy who's ever had a smack in the nuts knows just how painful it is. But we all know why Nate would do it, because if you want to take a guy completely out, that is a really effective way to do it. But that's one of those moments. I don't recommend that you do it like I did. That was plainly a mistake on my behalf. I was going for the wall. I was gonna hide behind it and pop out with my gun and shoot them. So that's what I recommend you do. But sometimes in games, when you just go balls to the wall and commit to something, sometimes that can work. Because that was quite a lucky moment. Even though on crushing the damage output isn't that high, so I wasn't really nervous when I played it, because I figured I could do it. Had it been on brutal, I would probably have died. But that's just the rules of playing on those extreme ultra difficulties. And speaking of ultra difficulties, I started to play Cuphead a few days ago. And if you really want the challenge, I recommend play Cuphead. That is also a game I would not make a walkthrough for, because I can honestly say that is one of the hardest games I've played in years. And I think Wolfenstein on I Am Death Incarnate is probably a cakewalk compared to that game. I've been on the brink of destroying one of my Xbox controllers. But anyway, we are coming up to the end of chapter 4. All you need to do now is go down here, and that is the end. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.